Hello and welcome to part 7 of this video series. Today we want to take a look at the altimeter settings and what they have to do with the terms QNH, QFE and QNE. The barometric altimeter is orientated to the set air pressure, as the air pressure is not the same at every location depending on the weather conditions, for example high and low pressure areas. It must be set for the current location. The set value always corresponds to an altitude of 0. For example, if you have set 1025 hectopascal as shown in the picture and then go to this pressure altitude, you will be at 0 feet above this reference altitude. The barometric altimeter uses a measured air pressure to determine the current altitude, as the air pressure drops with increasing altitude. The Q groups occur more frequently in aviation and have no meaning as an abbreviation for terms. They date back to the time of Morse codes. Firstly, a brief explanation of how the altimeter can display altitude in the first place. The altimeter makes a barometric altitude measurement by measuring the ambient pressure at the current altitude. As the pressure decreases with increasing altitude, the altitude can be determined using the pressure difference. It is therefore important which reference altitude you set. Let's start with the QFE. The QFE is the air pressure at aerodrome level. If you have set this, then the altimeter displays the altitude above ground level, so HGL. This means that if you want to set the QFE, you turn the altimeter on the ground to 0 feet. This means that you will always see the height above this reference surface or the height above the ground when flying. This is often set for training flights in the aerodrome circuit. As a rule, however, the QNH is more likely to be used. Next, the QNH. The QNH is the so-called aerodrome pressure according to the ICAO standard conditions calculated down to the sea level altitude. This means that the pilot sets the QNH to show the altitude above sea level at the current location. The QNH shows the altitude above sea level, so MSL. Mean sea level. This altimeter setting is very important for aviation. You can obtain the QNH either from ARTIS, from the Flight Information Service, or from other ground radio stations such as Info or Tower. In this case, the pilot has set the QNE or the standard air pressure. The standard air pressure means that the pilot must set 1013 hectopascal, so that all other aircraft have the same reference altitude. The QNE is set as soon as you are above the transition level or above the transition altitude of either 5000 feet MSL or 2000 feet AGL. Below the transition level, the QNH is mainly used for flying. If you fly according to the standard air pressure, then you no longer say the altitude in feet, but in flight levels, abbreviated FL. A short example of this is instead of 6500 feet, just saying flight level 65. So you do not mention the last two zeros or divide by 100. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next part. I would be very happy if you would appreciate my work by subscribing, and if you have any further questions, please post them into the comments and I will try to help you.